You know, when the Marvel Fox deal went through, or when it was coming about, I should say, and they were going through the papers to sort it out and try to get it done, a lot of people were saying that this was a fantastic stride for the MCU because it would allow the Fantastic Four and the X-Men to join their respective franchises within the Marvel Universe. Now, I could say that that's a stupid reason to want to buy an entire company, because honestly, why couldn't you have just bought the rights to those two franchises and left 20th Century Fox alone? I think that there's a bigger play at work here, and that is that Disney simply wants to own everything. Now, a lot of people might say Disney doesn't understand what they're doing, they don't know why they're doing it, they're not thinking through with it first. Oh, I assure you, I think Disney knows exactly what they're trying to do. I think Disney is trying their best to buy up the market so that you and I will not have options except to watch what they give us. And in time, with a few strings pulled, Disney will hopefully try their best to completely take over the entertainment industry, except for small, independent film studios, which will not buy out and sell out to Disney. Because let's be honest, if Disney truly bought everything, we know that some fantastic and great movies that we love and own and hold in high regard would be removed, banned, and of course, hidden in the depths and the mires of historical cinematic history, in the halls of cinematic history. And because of that, I think more than ever we need to stand up to Disney. And this news coming out that Disney is firing 4 to 8,000 jobs because of them shutting down a certain, I believe it was Fox Searchlight Studios or whatever, from 20th Century Fox. It's utterly depressing. It really is very depressing. These are people with families, with lives, with jobs, with kids. People who have aspirations and dreams and hopes and desires. How can you stand by and say that Disney is a wonderful, loving, and kind-hearted family company when they're doing this shit? If Disney was truly as lovey-dovey, kind, thoughtful, and family-friendly, you know what? I'm just going to say it. They would not have rehired or even lied about firing a man who has questionable pedophilic tendencies. Was it proven? No. Is it possible? It is possible. There's no evidence to deny it, as well as there's no actual tangible, overwhelming evidence to prove that he did, although there is evidence to suggest that he might have. And the fact that Disney's like, screw it, who cares? And then they're going to be hypocrites about it just for political reasons in regard to Roseanne. And then this, on top of it, buying out an industry just for the sake of controlling the means of media. And then to fire 4 to 8,000 people at their job, that's 4 to 8,000 families. Each one probably might have at least one kid, possibly 2, if not more. Say they had 2 kids. Now you're affecting 16,000 people. Say they had a spouse. Add another 8,000 to it. 24,000 people have been affected, at least, because of Disney. Because of this. Because of their acquisition of Fox. And you know what? You can stand by there and say that, oh my gosh, at least they got the X-Men. How do you know they're even going to do a good job? Because from what we've seen with Captain Marvel, it looks like they're going down the wrong road. They're going down the wrong path. They want nothing more than to politicize it. They want to totally destroy the MCU. I'm not a huge MCU fanboy myself. If anything, I find myself to be more so of a DCEU fanboy right now. I'm so excited for Shazam, it's ridiculous. I'm reading comics. I'm buying the food that they're promoting. I'm trying my best to give as much money as I can to Shazam, and it's tearing me up inside knowing that I have to work tomorrow night when there's an early screening of it, and I really, really, really want to go see it. But I can't, which sucks, and I really want to. On top of all that, How are we to know that they're going to do the X-Men and Fantastic Four correctly? Number two, why didn't they just buy those out if that was the reason? If that was the reason, there are two possibilities why they didn't. One is that they tried and then Fox was like, no, which is highly possible. But, you would think that Fox would go, well, I'd rather keep my job and make a lot more money and just sell the X-Men and the Fantastic Four before they buy the whole thing and totally revamp how we work. I was watching a movie just the other night, and it had Fox Searchlight on it. I believe that's what the company was that just got shut down. I was watching Due Date with Robert Downey Jr., and it was hilarious. And I watched it, and I kind of broke my heart, knowing that movies with funny, comedic gold for more of a mature audience, and movies that do not have to cater to the Disney brand. Although we're slowly seeing that that Disney doesn't care anymore about the family brand. They're doing things that to destroy that many lives, those families. That is so anti-Disney. It's radical. It's ridiculous. That's crazy. And the fact that there are very few people even covering this story, people who refuse, it's just like people with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. You hear about Johnny Depp being abused. Oh, it's all his fault. Then it gets switched around, and there's evidence, overwhelming evidence. Amber Heard did it. Oh, just cover it up because that's anti-Disney. It's anti-Wham and just like this. Oh, it's anti-Disney. Oh, this is bad life for. You know what? Let's talk about something else that doesn't matter. Are you kidding me? 4 to 8,000. If you cared about people, Disney, which you don't. You care about yourself, you care about money. That's true. Unless, of course, it comes to a political agenda, as we have seen with Star Wars and now MCU. You don't care about money, you care about political propaganda. And the sad thing is there's so many people out there in the world who do not see it for what it really is. And that is why people such as world-class maybe not world-class bullshitters exactly, they're not very political, but they are doing it in a sense. Comic Arts Prestigious, Geeks and Gamers, The Quartering, Nerdrotic, Mega Random 42, That Star Wars Girl, SC Reviews. I could go on for days. Odin's Movie Blog, Jesse Milestone, Ivan Ortega. I could come up with many more. People are so sick and tired of the cinematic bullshit propaganda being pushed inside of their entertainment. People have to go to college, such as myself, and spend 4 to 8 years listening to garbage fire bullshit propaganda, Soviet style, and then we get into the real world and we're like, thank God, I'm finally out of that hellhole and I no longer have to hear about this. And then we go to sit down after a long, hard week of work with our families, with our friends, with our spouses, and we sit down into the theater and go, oh, this looks like a fun movie. We sit down, we watch it, and then we get spewed with more propaganda. Obviously, we're going to be pissed because this is our one time to relax, and you just fill it up with all this bullshit we've heard a million times over. How many ways, how many different cycles, how many different varieties of strong women and strong female characters do we have to hear before we tell you Wonder Woman did it better? There's a lot of reasons why Wonder Woman is better than Captain Marvel, and I think personally one of the reasons isn't just because Gal Gadot is hotter, and not only because Gal Gadot is more feminine, and not because Gal Gadot is also a likable personality and has actual character traits and flaws and weaknesses, and on top of that also because she has a compass, a moral compass, and not just talks like a robot all the time. It's also on top of the fact that she has a romantic male co-star in the movie, which they pushed so hard with Captain Marvel not to do so that they praised it and thought it was wonderful and great and grand and glorious. Whatever, I don't care. Not many people do. The fact that you're praising it and glorifying it proves one thing, that it was intentional. Now, if it just happened to be that way, and it was like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's a cool feature. That's never really happened before. Okay, that's interesting. Then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But you're praising it. You're worshiping it. It's obvious that this is an intended thing. You wanted it to be this way because you wanted to push a political agenda. You wanted to push something like this. Women can do it all on their own. They don't need no man. And that is so stupid because we all need each other. Men need women. Women need men. It's plain and simple and obvious as that. And sure, because of the minutia of the 0.01% of the population who maybe don't have to rely on anyone because they're just made of sterner stock than the rest of us, doesn't mean that the rest of the country is not like that. Is like that. And Captain Marvel is a serious problem. But I digress, because this is about the Fox deal. Disney has fundamentally changed who they are as a company. They don't care about families anymore. They don't. If they cared, then they would actually try to do family things. Families don't want to go and listen to a political agenda for 2 hours. Families don't want to have the possibility of a probable pedophile, making their movies for them. Families do not want to see a company that is made for families ruin families' lives by shutting down companies that they just bought. And then you have the whole idea of the streaming services. They've gotten over half of Hulu, I believe, and also now their Disney Streaming Plus service. And a lot of people might go, well, I'm going to boycott Disney Plus and Hulu. I'm just going to go to Netflix because I don't want anything Disney controlled. But Netflix is also political in a sense too. Almost everything that they produce that is a Netflix original has a very political slant to it. And it's only going to get worse. Personally, I am all for Blockbuster coming back. I am one of the smallest of the minutia saying, you know what? I'm totally going for Blockbuster. I would love to buy a Blockbuster shirt. Can I get a Blockbuster shirt? I want a Blockbuster shirt. Or like a jacket with the Blockbuster logo on it. I want to bring it back. That was my childhood. And they're in the state right now where they're like, you know what? If we don't have the ability to produce a political agenda, we just need money. Especially since the last store closed down just a few weeks back. And now there's only, the one of two stores, and now there's only one store left. There's one last store, and I think it's like in Oregon or somewhere. I'd love to visit it. But anyways, I think that Disney has fundamentally changed who they are as a company. And I think that it is up to us to be able to show them that they're wrong and that they need some help. So anyways, ladies and gents, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. It's a little bit more serious of a topic, especially when you come to the topic of thousands of families losing, financial stability. And it sucks. It's just, it's heartbreaking, really, just to think that, I almost have 100 subscribers. That's a lot of people. And Disney is going to fire, lay off, and make people seek jobs like 80 times my limit, or the amount of people that watch or are subscribed to my channel. That is sickening. I would never want even 80 people. I want to lay off 10 people, especially if they don't deserve it. But that's just me, I suppose. Anyways, if you like this video, please do like it. If you're triggered over the fact that I like people to have their jobs and have families supported financially, then dislike it. That just shows more about you than it does about me, but I don't care. Helps me out either way. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And comment down below your thoughts on the whole Disney-Fox merger and this job loss. Just tell me what you guys think about it. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic rest of your day.